Hi everyone. I just wanted to share a few thoughts on the Q2 market report. I'm including it in the email I send out to my newsletter list. So if you'd like to receive that, please let me know. Q2 did see some more activity, which is cautiously exciting. Some of that I think is buyers taking advantage of discounts, listings that have been on the market a long time. I also think a lot of that was on the higher end, people trying to avoid the new mansion taxes that took place July 1st. People were trying to beat the buzzer, so to speak. As a result, I would not be too surprised if Q3 numbers are slightly lower, just because a lot of transactions that would, well, not a lot, but some transactions that would have taken place in Q3 were rushed and took place in Q2 instead. Just a few thoughts. If you're a buyer waiting on the market to slow down more, you're looking for a good deal, I think the best, based on all the research, based on what I've seen, based on conversations I've had, the best deals you're going to find will be a new development. Those were priced from a very different market. Developers have a lot of inventory. They need to keep the numbers moving. So your best chance to get a good deal is probably going to be new development, especially on the higher end. Maybe, honestly, probably 3 million and up. That being said, anything lower than that, you can still ask. You might not get these, the big crazy story discount that you might be reading about in the paper or blogs. Condos are also possibly a good source of getting a good deal. The reason being, well, for one thing, it's a lot harder to bring money in from other countries right now. So we don't have nearly as many foreign buyers as we have had in the past here in New York. Also, recent rent laws have made it a bit challenging for investors to want to invest in buying condos. As a result, there is less competition for condos, again, especially at the higher price points. So your best bet to get any kind of a discount or a nice price is probably condo. Again, maybe like 2 million and up. Co-ops still have a lot of protections built in. In particular, a board is not going to suddenly let things sell at a half off kind of discount. Co-op boards are still going to protect the value of the properties as much as they possibly can. So there's wiggle room in a lot of deals right now. It's just that there's typically always going to be less wiggle room in co-ops. So that's just something to keep in mind. Checking my notes. Oh, yes, definitely wanted to point out that I think the lower end of the market, like under 1 million, I think we'll probably start to see a little bit more activity as in the next 6 months to a year, primarily because the rental market is extremely strong. I saw a quote recently. One landlord was saying it was the strongest market he's seen in 10 years in the rental market. Landlords aren't really giving out concessions anymore. A lot of the new rent laws have to do with rent stabilized apartments, and they have to deal with moving into new apartments, limits on security deposits, for example. So that's not really going to have a dramatic effect on what's already rented out. So the rental market is still strong. So as a result, I do think over the next 6 months to a year, we might see some renters turning into first-time buyers. So again, I do think in the next 6 months to a year, we might start to see a little more activity on the lower end. I think also it's a slow churn where a lot of buyers have been taking their time, looking for a year. Now they're finally ready to pull the trigger. If you're trying to time the market, honestly, it's the same advice I give over and over that I've given in all my market reports. If you find the right apartment, don't wait. There's no guarantee that apartment is going to be on the market when we hit quote unquote the bottom. So even if you time the bottom, you may not get the apartment you want. So if you find the right apartment, make an offer. Be aggressive if you want to be aggressive. Bring the price. Don't wait for the price to drop. Bring the price where you want it to be. Make the offer. Have the conversation. Don't wait for a price drop. Don't wait for 2, 3 price drops because everyone else is doing the same thing. Be the aggressive buyer. Meanwhile, if you're a seller, it continues to be the kind of market where you have to price smart. You have to price accordingly. If you want a price near the top of the market, it's going to take time to sell, and you have to be ready for that. If you don't have the time to sit on the apartment and wait, you do need to be aggressive in your pricing, unfortunately. So it's just really important to have a just honest, clear conversation and communication with your broker from both sides. So those are my thoughts on Q2. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. And as always, if you have any questions about the market or your particular search, please let me know. And if you're interested as a seller in what your home might go for in this market, I'm very happy to provide a free home valuation so you can plan your next step. Thanks for watching.